When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbeyBellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbeyBellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbeyBellPetDesigns.com. Good morning, everybody. Let's bring on the Periscope people. Hey, Gary, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. Hey, Raph. Hey, Chezzy. Hey, Alexis, Alan, Marlene, JB. Please invite people on in, if you will. Millo, hello. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Hey, Tom. If I did, I apologize. Hey, Barbara. Reblinks. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Barbara has put in a request for a special Bible verse. Hey, Peyton. So I'll be reading that as you come in. Please invite everybody. Good morning, Vietnam. Well, it sure feels like Vietnam. I don't think, well, wasn't there, so I don't know how this compares. Probably not at all, but anyway. Hey, Peyton. You made it this time. You got the notification. Hey, Carmen. Okay, let me quickly read to you Deuteronomy 19:15 through 20. One witness shall not rise against a man concerning any iniquity or any sin that he commits. By the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses the matter shall be established. If a false witness rises against any man to testify against him of wrongdoing, then both men in the controversy shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges who serve in those days. And the judges shall make careful inquiry. And indeed, if the witness is a false witness, who has testified falsely against his brother, then you shall do to him as he thought to have done to his brother. So you shall put away the evil from among you. And those who remain shall hear and fear, and hereafter they shall not again commit such evil among you. Your eyes shall not pity, life shall be for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Amen. So don't bear false witness against your neighbors. Just saying. It's probably not going to turn out very good for you. Yes, very apt verse. Again, that was Barbara's request. You know, we have seen lie after lie after lie. We continue to see lie. It's really sad to and expected. Hey, Kim, how are you? Hey, Brandon, good to see you. How's work going? It's really sad to see the Democrats continue to lie. I mean, we knew this was coming. We knew that no matter how many FBI investigations we did, no matter how thorough, hey, Teresa, hey, Renee, how thorough the investigations were, if it lasted 100 years or 200 years, no meetings this morning. Yay! Glad you could join us, Brandon. That they were never going to accept the results of the FBI. And already we have Ford's attorneys who are coming out saying, you didn't investigate her. Hey, Marlene. And so how can this be a fair investigation? I mean, I've heard so many people on Twitter, hey, Dawn, good morning, talking about this very thing. It's like, here's what's going to happen, too. This FBI report, as per Feinstein, she wants it kept confidential. And I have to say, they're saying that's pretty customary. That's always done that way. But they can use that. They can spin it. They can go to their constituents and say, well, the reason they're not releasing it is because, Patrick, she did have her day, is because the information in there goes against Kavanaugh, because she already gave testimony under oath. Yep. Dems will never be satisfied. They're hypocrites. That's right, Tammy. And as they said before they even started the investigation, we're going to turn over the information to you, but it's the senators who make that decision. What she has done on some Periscopes, some men Republicans are now slating women as a whole. Well, did you think that wasn't coming? We knew that, Tammy, right? Hey, Robin, good morning. I put on Periscope just a few minutes ago, Alyssa Milano. You know Alyssa, who's the boss? Not anymore. Doesn't have anything to do. She's saying, well, if men have to be treated unequally for a while, hey, Jerry, then that's okay. If we have to get equality by treating men unfairly, then that's okay. Hey, Kelly. And I said, listen, oh, yeah, really? If you, Laura B., don't come in here and spouting your evil. May God help you with your evil heart. So anyway, I said, could somebody please give Alyssa, hey Danielle, give Alyssa a job. Please, somebody hire her so that she can stop being so hate-filled, hey Amaze, towards men. That she will have something other better to do than be hate-filled and discriminatory towards men. We had it going good until this mess and Me Too movement. Yep, the lying has gone too far. You can feel the desperation of the devil. Oh my gosh, it absolutely. Hey, Lois. She's trying to stay relevant. Yeah, well, by the way, I'm now an uncle as of Monday. Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Uncle Brandon. This has never been about Kavanaugh. It's about the unmitigated hatred for Trump. Patrick, it's about that. It's about killing babies. And it's also about thwarting God's purpose. So it's been about a lot of stuff. No more rain on Alyssa's land. Yeah. Yeah, Alyssa, I don't know what her problem is. I really don't. You know, God help her. Robin says she's nuts. Alyssa is evil. You can see it on her face. Yeah, she has a very, rich husband in Hollywood. And I guess she has time to go out and do that. And I don't know how he feels about being treated unequally in order to get equality for women. I'm not sure. And it's funny. Grassley said the new FBI report doesn't corroborate Ford claims. Why Black GOP? Basically, they said that there's nothing new in the report, and there's not a hint of anything that supports the allegations of sexual misconduct. It's about killing babies in 72 genders. That's right, Blair. Ari. Yep, absolutely. Yep. And it's just a shame that we have to see this. And again, attorneys for Ford, well, she hasn't been interviewed, so it's not fair. Hey Lisa, she got a chance to say what she wanted to say. And honestly, quite honestly, I say the less she talks, the less she's going to get herself in trouble. I saw someone say they owe a lot of tax money and are basically broke. Yeah, I don't know. RNC coming to Charlotte, yay. Chuck Schumer holding a press conference. The rally tonight in, really? Alyssa is nearly broke? I don't know about that. I think her husband's some bigwig in Hollywood. I can't imagine that. So the rally in Minnesota tonight, Laura Loomer was scoping from there this morning. Basically, the line is already wrapped around pretty far. And she said that some people had camped out overnight to be there. Ivanka was in Charlotte yesterday. Well, what would Dr. Fraud add? Did she change something, Kim said? That's a good question, Kim. I have no idea. She would probably say, I did not ever help anybody with a polygraph test. I imagine that's what it would be. I gave the woman the benefit of the doubt. I really did. But the more I hear from her ex-boyfriend, the more I hear from other things going on. I don't believe her anymore. Honestly, I don't. Now, people say, well, that means women will have to suffer in silence and they always have to have evidence and all that. Well, yes, they do. They need to have evidence. And here's what I'm going to say to you. Sometimes, just if a person says that they were sexually assaulted, if they go and tell someone right away, with no evidence, just that bolsters their argument that something actually did happen. But when you wait 36 years and expect to have zero evidence, zero corroboration, zero, there's nothing you can do with that. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? Well, the Democrats came along in the Me Too movement, Brandon, and now it's no longer that way. Jamie said shooting in South Carolina was a disbarred attorney. Had run ads with had run-ins with the law in recent years. I wouldn't come forward without evidence, Robin said. Well, and the thing of it is, if you are sexually assaulted, you go immediately, report it to the police. They have rape kits, they have DNA, they have a lot of other things that they can do, but you have to tell someone. And as difficult as it is, you have to tell someone. Yeah, yesterday there was a travesty in South Carolina where a man opened fire on a number of police officers. One 30-year veteran died yesterday. People were talking about he was such a wonderful man. So they were going there to, and I guess, Jamie, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, that going there to talk to him about allegations of child sexual assault by somebody else, not even him. So I have no idea what really went down. I heard other men came forward and said he could have been them with Dr. Ford. Yeah, that was alleged. 7 officers, 3 went to serve a warrant. Prayers for the officers. I just heard about it this morning. Robin said they were there to issue a warrant. Yeah, it was in regards to. Let me see if I had written it down. Child sex trafficking or child. Investigating alleged sexual assault of a child by another person. Enjoyed listening to you last night. Hugs for Gracie and sobs. Thank you, Star. 2-hour standoff. Yeah, I heard that too. And pray for the family. Absolutely disgusting. Child sex abuse. Yeah, and it wasn't Jamie by the guy who supposedly shot everybody, but it was about another person. I don't know who they were investigating. Kids were there, I heard Danielle said, yeah. So pray for the officers that are still struggling to live in the hospital, because they're I don't know if they're in critical condition. I think some of them are pretty bad off, but hopefully they will survive. Pray for them, their families, and pray for the families of that wonderful police officer that was killed yesterday, a 30-year veteran. So ridiculous. Heavy gunfire from the shooter. Yeah, I mean that's just crazy. And that when the police officers came upon it, they had no idea it was going to be like that. Good morning, Susan. I heard about the shooting yesterday and couldn't hold the tears back while praying for all the officers and their families. Yep. Absolutely horrible. I think police officers more and more, their lives are just totally in danger at every moment. I don't know if you heard about it. It was in Kansas, I believe, where a man allegedly poured cleaning fluid, poisonous stuff, really, cleaning fluid, in the drink of a police officer, and he started feeling sick and everything else. They've arrested that young man for that, so we will see him go through his day in court. That was 40 killed this year, 5 more than last year. Yeah, Renee, I pray for them every day, yet every day something happens. Barbara, that one time, and I should do it again, I've gone in my neighborhood, I've gone to the police station, and I've asked them, can I pray over them? And you don't even have to ask them. You can pray for the parking lot, but I wanted to actually pray over them. Did the police officer die who drank the bleach? No, he did not. Hey, Jules, by a grace of God, he did not die. This is off topic, but they're putting Morgan, okay, or antibiotics, please continue. Okay. Robin said they're putting her daughter on oral antibiotics. Please continue to pray for her. They had a phone call. Okay, Peyton, no problem. But, and also, this again, and I've heard so many people talking about this, and it's what we've been talking about in here. God is giving us an opportunity to turn back to him, and what we do with it right now is going to be what, the difference and a lot makes, okay? Because we can't just say, oh, well, we want to pray for Kavanaugh and we just stop, or we want to just pray for, thanks, Carmen. We just want to do this and we'll just stop. You can't do that. We need to keep praying. We need to pray for the country, the president, for all of us in here, for the Democrats to turn back to God, those that would, look truth in the eyes and still continue their evil. That's what we need to do. And I just, I hope with Kavanaugh, you need to continue to pray. This isn't over yet. You're supposed to take a procedural vote, I think, tomorrow, and then a final vote on Saturday. Don't think that evil rests. Don't think that evil doesn't come up with something else. Don't think that evil is just going to sit idly by. At the end of this program, if you guys would remind me, I will read Psalm 143 again, and putting in Judge Kavanaugh's name if you want me to do that. Somebody just remind me of that, please. The evil is all around, Peyton. It's getting thicker. I'm listening to Lynn Chucky Schumer express his huge disappointment of the investigation. Well, and Monique said, and Chucky said he didn't care what it was. He wasn't going to vote for him. I pray that their lies will fall upon deaf ears. I hope he's not a slimy rapist. Who is a slimy rapist? Because there's no one who's been proven to be a rapist at all. Even if you're talking about the allegations against Kavanaugh, at that party, she said she was groped and attempted. There's been no indication of a rape everywhere. Okay, Carmen, if you want to go there and then get back to us. Brett, I said, I hope he isn't. Yeah, and I said there's no reason to suspect that Brett is, because no one has given any proof. It's zero proof. Yeah, he was talking about Clinton. Yeah, and they talked about Chelsea Clinton, who was asked about Kavanaugh, and of course she came out and talked about how horrible it was with Kavanaugh, but failed to mention anything about her father, which, gosh, I don't know, how did that happen? Apparently they will be protesting again today at 1600. They've been protesting. They were out protesting in front of Jeffy Flake's office yesterday, and she said he covered her mouth. Oh, okay. Mr. DJ, whatever your name is, there's been zero evidence. The FBI has just concluded 7 investigations. 3 witnesses, including her lifelong friend, said there was no party. And her lifelong friend said, I don't even know Kavanaugh. So please quit spouting off what you want us to believe are facts. There's no evidence, zero. And so stop saying things like that. Yeah, the American Bar Association rated him as well qualified. It's not true, Mr. DJ. Facts don't matter to them. That's true. And the one thing that you have to remember about, the Bar Association basically came back the other day and said, oh, we want you to withdraw his name. One person in the Bar Association, the head of the Bar Association, without asking anybody else if they feel that way. These women who are protesting against Kavanaugh are mindless idiots. No, they're paid idiots, Kim. Kavanaugh was a virgin. How do you get sexual assault out of that? Well, Danielle, as I said, nobody even accused him of rape at all. They said, attempt, but nobody was ever raped. So there you go. Don't call people a rapist when you have zero evidence and nobody even said anybody was raped in the first place. Cost, why do you want ladies to add you? What's that all about? Costa Rica, why do you want ladies to add you? I think the women in here, if they want to add you, they will. And it's your first day on Periscope. Are you like, this isn't a dating scope, so just another word to shut down the right. Yep, exactly. I don't think virgin would even be a groper. This will never be over for Judge Kavanaugh and his family. My heart bleeds for his little girls and his wife, praying for strength, God's protection, and his wisdom, Monique said. Yeah, the court of public opinion. And all of these people, okay, there we go. Costa, you're bothering people. All of these people who are coming out against Kavanaugh, and the Democrats who are saying, oh, well, the this, the that, the high school yearbook, and, on and on and on. Now we've gone to temperament and all that. I pray that none of those people are ever falsely accused where they have their life totally destroyed. This will haunt him and his wife and his children and possibly grandchildren for the rest of their lives. Yeah, they're a joke. It's mob mentality. Yep. And I just hope, I pray that God would spare them what he's going through, because I don't wish ill will on anybody. Mr. DJ, whatever your name is, sexual assault means it was completed, okay? Stop twisting things. It was an attempted anything. Whatever you want to put after it, You have to put before it attempted. That was the accusation. So quit trying to change even the accusations. Looking at Kevin Olson case here in Charlotte, he was acquitted yesterday of all charges. Is that the guy from UNC? Is that UNC Charlotte, I think? The liars will not go unpunished, the Bible says. Yeah, and that'll be up to God, Danielle, whatever God wants to do with that. That's not, for us to say or whatever, but that's what'll happen. Yep, sure, it'll be in the history books. Exactly. Okay. Well, there, Mr. Whatever, I can't take any more of the lies. If you're on the left, don't come in and start saying lies and don't try to twist the facts. I don't have time for that, and most people in here, you don't have time for that. Let's talk truth, and then that's fine. Would like to see the tables turn on Booker actually holding him accountable for admitting to it. Yep. He just wants to speak about sex, weirdo. Yeah, probably. And here's the other thing, everybody. We can't stop. For example, we can't stop talking about Keith Ellison. We can't just let the heat off of that. We need to continue talking about Cory Booker, who basically has admitted to very similar things that they've accused Kavanaugh of, and they wanted to get rid of Kavanaugh. So I want Cory Booker to explain why he should be a senator when he's admitted to groping the breast of a female when he was age 15 without her consent. What makes that okay, but not okay if somebody else does it? We are tired of the dirty Democrats' way. We have to, as I said yesterday, we have to use their playbook against them. We have to be proactive. Just does not make sense. Well, and Rafi, that it's not going to make sense. So this is a tribal thing. No, not a tribal thing, sweetheart. It's called doing your civic duty, getting out there and making sure that you right wrongs, things like that. Yeah, she was drunk and she said so. Yeah, well. Robin said it was all lies. I know it in my spirit. There's no excuse not to give him the job. Well, Robin, and there's no reason not to give him the job when you have a lack of evidence. And everybody who's ever known him has said that he's a great person. So, and that none of it ever happened. That Laura Ingraham has known him for, 20 years or something. I'll tell you what, if this guy were as what Democrats want you to believe that he was, Laura Ingraham would have found out. Trust me. If they put country over party, we would be better off. Yeah, if they put God over party, we would be better off. She can't remember if she said anything. None of these people, and then the creepy porn lawyer comes out with a new person with stuff that's just like off the wall. It's as bad as the solo cups that we went over the other day. If you had a solo cup in your possession and you were handing it out, you were guilty. My gosh. And again, I've got to ask all of these people who were there, what in the world were you doing at parties? Hey, Rob, where you thought women were being gang raped, at least those are your accusations. Women were being gang raped, and you went there 10 and another one yesterday 20 times. Yeah, there are two sides to the story, Brown, and the story has already been told, and the evidence has not been corroborated, so there's the other side of the story. Ex-FBI looked and the hearing, and she was acting, well, I think Rachel Mitchell did a good job in covering a lot of stuff. Miss Ford, can't remember who drove her to the party and back. Yeah. Hey, how are you? Okay. Bye, Miss Brown. Take care. I saw the video you posted on Twitter of that girl ripping the sign. Those people were cray-cray. Seriously. Taking the signs, ripping them up as if, and I'll tell you something just for everybody who knows this, and I've said this before, I'll tell you again. If you ever take something out of somebody's hand that they are holding by force without their permission, you have opened yourself up to assault and battery. Just want to let you know, you're not allowed to do that. I don't care what your temperament is, what your excuse is, whether it's a good day, bad day for you, whatever, you're not able to do that. Don't touch anything that somebody is holding or wearing on their head. You take that off by force or without their permission. That's assault and battery in most states. And you can go to jail for that. Women have been going to senators' doors and waking them up with chants, anti-Kavanaugh, mini. It's going to get worse. And I'm telling you, That lady was violent, Kim. I'm telling you, men, you need to protect yourself. Do you even know what kind of communities these kids lived in? Gang rape and no one knew. I know. Exactly. You know, the thing of it is, and these affluent families like that back there, if somebody had gang raped some of those women in those affluent neighborhoods, I think they would have been strung up. I don't think there would have been a trial, and I think it would have been over. One of the girls in the elevator with Flake is an illegal alien. Yes. According to Ocasio-Cortez, one of the women in that elevator that approached Flake is an illegal alien. Didn't someone leak addresses and phone numbers? Yes, Brandon, and they have been charged and are in jail now, from what I understand. That person allegedly is a former staffer of Sheila. So they are saying all the families, yeah. That's exactly what they're saying. Yeah. So let me find out a little bit more. Sheila Jackson. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was reading something. I got distracted. Sheila Jackson Lee's former aide, who supposedly doxed 3 senators, and now there's information that maybe Ron Paul got doxed as well. So I don't know if it's the same person. I don't know if it's a different person. He worked for Barbara Boxer. He also worked for Dianne Feinstein and somebody else in New Hampshire, Nasson, I believe. Yeah, they arrested him last night. So I'm wondering even more today what was in that envelope that Sheila Jackson Lee gave to Bromwich. I really want to know. Maybe that information was in the envelope. Yeah. Information of like, oh, well, if he needs a good attorney, can he call you? Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the guy that they arrested is going to say, you know what? I can turn over the names of the people who told me to do it. I mean, if somebody did, let him turn over those names and maybe have a plea bargain, you know? If I were 27 years old looking at that much prison time for all the things that they are charging him with, and if somebody told me to do it, woo, I would certainly start to talk about it. We thank God every day for giving us Trump. Yep. And we thank God every day for working through Trump and working through us and doing what we need to do. I was listening to a really good sermon by Jack Hibbs. If anybody wants that sermon by Jack Hibbs, let me know. It's very encouraging. I'll be glad to send it to you. But one of the things that he said, hey Jack, is that you can't sit down. You can't shut up. You in the church, hey Junior, if I didn't say hello to you, hello. You in the church, you pastors, you better be talking about the truth and leading your flock the way you're supposed to. Hey Judy, he was talking about that they're suing. Everybody send me a DM who wants me to send that to you. Please send me a DM. And if I'm not following you, just ask me to follow you. Tell me what you want, and I'll do that. Have you talked about Warren saying she will take a hard look at running for president? We did, I think, the other day, but, you know. Yeah, she has said that. Chesney, it's this sermon from Jack Hibbs from that conference over the weekend. Anyway, what I was going to say was, because California, even though the federal court said you will... that if if it's against your beliefs, that you don't have to pay the insurance for an abortion, of like a voluntary abortion. California said, oh, we don't care what the federal government says that you need to do. You are going to be ordered to pay for their abortion. So what did Calvary Chapel in Chino Hills do in California? They got rid of their insurance. They said, we're done. We're not paying for it. God told us not to. We're not doing it. And they're doing a lot more things. And as I said, they're suing California. That's the kind of church you need to be in. If you're not in that kind of church, you need to find that kind of church. And you need to go out and do things. West Virginia is allowing people to vote online. That's too bad. So, I mean, there are churches that are standing up. He was talking about how in California, thank you, Robin, thank you for the super hearts. He was talking about in California how there is starting to be a revival that he's seeing in California. Saw a report saying 80% of church members want Kavanaugh to step down. No. Listen, I wrote an article yesterday on, let me see the name of it. I can never remember the names of it. Poll on Kavanaugh that the mainstream media and Democrats don't want you to see. They talked to about 1,300 voters, and of course, they didn't tell them all the truth. And a lot of them, and I have the statistics in there because I looked it all up. A number of people, more than probably that you would think, over 30, they get their news from the mainstream media, and the older you get, the larger the numbers are for you getting your information from mainstream media. And so, once they told them that, you know, they didn't like what they heard about Kavanaugh, but once they heard that there was no corroborating evidence, and that if the FBI came back with no corroborating evidence, about 60% of those people said, really? First of all, you're telling us that this is the truth? They didn't know. They weren't told. And they said, well, if that's true, then we vote to confirm him. Hey, Wayne, you can't remember yesterday. How can Ford remember 30 years ago? Well, somebody told her about it, or it was made up, I guess. I'm not sure. And again, I'm not discounting that she may have been, you know, sexually assaulted at some point in her life. I don't know. The vote is tomorrow. That's the procedural vote that I understand, Chris, and the final vote is on Saturday unless they change something. Yes, envelope of papers folded. It appeared to me that it was several white sheets of paper and a green one folded. Yeah, I don't know what it is. What are you sorry about, Wayne? Yeah, you know, and if you look at that, it's frightening how many people watch TV to get their news. And so that needs to change. But as we're trying to change that, what do we have? We have people who are shutting down Facebook for conservatives, Twitter for conservatives, Periscope for conservatives, and on and on and on. And now I guess, you know, they're even trying to go after and screw with Gab some. I just saw Schumer and Feinstein's speech, pathetic. Well, that's why you should never watch it, Patrick. It appears the final vote will be Saturday. Yes, Chicago Pops, that's what I heard. She had her notes in front of her, and that's how she remembered. They were probably written very neatly for her, Tom. So anyway, you know, how do we change all of that? We need to step it up quickly, and we need to continue to join together as Republicans, as conservatives, and especially as Christian conservatives. And we need to go on, you know, Twitter and try to join together with as many people as we can, because sooner or later that may be taken away from us. Hey, Marine Hero, how are you? But we need to find other avenues and other ways to communicate with each other, because we're going to lose that. We have to stay united. That's right, Judy. And if you guys could, would you please go ahead at this time and retweet this? We're past the halfway mark. Hey, Darla, it's your first day. I believe she made her story by first reading Mark Judge's book. You know, it could be art. I mean, Artland, but you can, or art. There we go. But you can't say that for sure. I mean, but yes. She could have, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, and how many parties did all these people seem to go to? I mean, you could have taken any party and said something happened. My Twitter doesn't work, Susan, I need to fix it. Yes, you do, Danielle. Republican representatives need to start turning the tables on the Democrats. Tom, they need to follow through. Again, Keith Ellison, Cory Booker, Feinstein, Hillary Clinton. Dr. Ford's family doesn't want anything to do with her. My brother David says we need CB radios. Well, Mary, they used to have them, and that's probably right. Is anyone here on Gab? I am Kim. I don't go over there much, to be honest with you, but I am. I'm also on MeWe. I don't go there much. Thank you, Elaine, for the super hearts. I think, yes, I think you will be confirmed. I think that if you feel like it, you know, you should call Flake today. You should call the other senators and tell them the Democrats right now are in trouble. They've you know, the people who did support them have heard this crap, and anybody with a brain knows that this could have been their brother, their husband, their father, their uncle, and they said, this can't be. Yeah, you feel it's too clunky. Yeah, I don't like any other platforms than Facebook and Twitter, but we're going to have to try to adjust. Flake is retiring. Will he try to pull a McCain? I don't know. I saw the polls for the election looking bad for Democrats. Yep, they overplayed their hand. Yeah, the president can get in touch with us anytime he wants after the testing yesterday. I think, what it shows, though, as I put in my article, too, is that basically Americans still, by and large, believe in fairness and the Constitution and the rule of law, and that's good to know. Remember, they're going to try to mislead you. Yeah, Preet Rahara's, yeah, I know. It's just, the connections are just sickening. But people are going to try to mislead you. Hey, Becky. And that's why you need to know. You need to know the Bible. You need to know what the truth is. And you need to look for the truth. And don't believe everybody that you hear. And don't believe everything that you hear right away. Research stuff. I never watched the dim speeches or interviews. I want to keep my sanity. It was hard to watch the hearing with Ford and Kavanaugh. I tell you, Robin, I agree with that. I don't listen to Nancy and Schumer. When they talk, I'll just get the, whatever comes out later. I cannot stand to listen to them. It's too much. Last night, I don't know what happened. Ben Sass, I don't know what's going on with him. Was this revenge? Could have been for the Clintons, revenge. Why not? Do you believe that the Clintons would not seek revenge? I mean, seriously. Many of them are wolves in sheep's clothing. That's right. So Ben Sass said, he came out, and I just saw kind of like near the end of it. He said, we need to do better for women. And I asked President Trump to nominate someone else. Now, I don't know if he was talking about in the beginning he did or what he's talking about. Yeah, Sass needs to, Sass needs to tie up his little shoelaces and pull up his pants and go vote for what the American people want him to. I'll tell you, if these people look at polls, you better go out and look closely at these polls, because right now, even in those where there were tight races, they're starting to pull away. The Republicans are pulling away. Sass is anti-Trump, yep, but he better do the right thing. And Mitch McConnell better convince him to do the right thing. This morning, what was Manchin saying? Manchin, everybody in West Virginia, he'll be going against West Virginia if he doesn't vote to confirm him. Many of them are sheep in wolves' clothing like Booker. Yep. Paid protesters will be out making trouble. Manchin likely to vote yes. Well, he'd better, Jerry. He knows if he wants a political career and even a shot at it, he'd better. But I would vote for Morrissey myself. Lindsey Graham is speaking and said over 150 people have been interviewed in Brett's life. There's no other Supreme Court justice nominee that's ever been treated like this man. The closest was probably Clarence Thomas, and he wasn't treated this poorly. He said he told the president to submit a woman for the court. Well, and Chicago moms, how does that make you feel? How does it make you feel to know that it's not qualifications that matter, it's your gender? And I don't know what gender, but I mean, now you have to be a woman. Democrats become the party for women. The GOP has become the party for men and women. President Trump in Minnesota today. Yes, Rachel, so changes rapidly after a Trump rally. That's right, Art. I mean, I don't know why we can't look for people because of their qualifications. The fact that the Democrats won't vote as a bloc makes it easier for President Trump. Kavanaugh was on Romney's list, so there you go. Yeah, I mean, this would have, if this doesn't go through, it will be a travesty of justice. And I mean that, and you know that. The Constitution will be out the window. Due process will be out the window. Everything that we've built America on will be out the window. And that's why I say, so that your qualifications are no longer considered. That's right. It's sad, Chicago Pops, that California just passed a law saying corporations have to have a woman on the board. That's right. That's right. But let me just tell you something. And who said that? That was Tom. Tom, let me just tell you something. If I were a man in California and I wanted to be on that board, you know what I would do? I would submit my resume and say, uh, the U.S. is going down the tank. Well, Mr. Reyes, that's true. But God, don't worry, God will be back. God will fix everything. If I were a man in California and I wanted to be on that board, I would submit a resume saying that my name is Tom, but I identify as a woman. And so therefore, I should be considered for being on the board. Yes, that's how crazy it's become. Mitch McConnell got super emotional when delivering a speech, said the Senate will not be intimidated, that the entire process has been ruled by fear and anger. You know, resume on pink paper with sprayed perfume. There you go, Brandon. Thank you. Marine hero, you know, and Elaine. I mean, seriously, this is what they would do. They would do that, you know. They really would. I think one thing that may have happened a little bit to rhinos, make a false accusation against the woman, she will be removed and I can step in. There you go. I think the rhinos have finally gotten it through their heads that the people in this country are fair-minded, they follow the Constitution, they appreciate this president, and if they want to continue their careers, maybe they better take note. That would make you eligible for the president of the United States. There you go. There you go. So, you know, so it was a wake-up call for rhinos. And it's a wake-up call for rhinos, you know why? Because they are being physically attacked. Hey, Brandon. Okay, have a good day. Got to get back on the rat wheel. All right, have a good one, Brandon. Thanks for coming in. Don't be a stranger. They have learned that they will be physically attacked, intimidated, and whatever else they need to do if they don't play along the way the Democrats want them to. And that will show them that lawlessness is coming, and you'd better do something about it. Good morning, my lovely Sue and the girls. Hello, Lady Gracie. Hey, just that. I always say with Gracie, love the Gracie, hate the growls, but just saying. So, again, this is why Christians need to step up. This is why Republicans need more security. They do. But this is why Christians need to keep the pressure on it for the demanding that the way that things be treated legally. Republicans are being voted. No, they're not being voted out, senior, but bye-bye. They are getting doxxed by Sheila Jackson's staff. Well, allegedly, yes. Stop spreading lies. Okay, I will. So I'll see you later. We can't have more lies spread if she's not here. Desperate New York Times and New York AG now trying to bring down the president on tax evasion. Did you see how quickly they jumped from one thing to the next? Once they figured out, well, this Kavanaugh thing, well, we've tried everything. We can kind of keep it going. But we need something new. And it was interesting that a hearing that James Baker, a top FBI lawyer, former lawyer, gave an explosive closed-door testimony on Wednesday detailing for Congress how the whole Russia probe was handled in an abnormal fashion. And see, look, why do you need to be told that, Congress? The American public knew that long before you did. We don't need a closed-door meeting. We know that. Reflecting political bias. And again, anybody, if you were blind and woke up from a coma, you would know that. Mueller must be on the back burner now that that's falling apart. Yep. That and old issue was already addressed 2 years ago. I know, Alexis, but they don't care. They'll bring it up as if it happened today. Now, Baker had a close working relationship with Comey, so he knows a lot of the inside stuff. So, again, Congress is finally hearing stuff and maybe listening a little bit this time. They made an arrest. It was Sheila Jackson's staffer. Yeah, I know they made an arrest, Camaro. It was, his name is Jackson Costco. Was it Jackson Costco? I think that's right. So, yeah, 27-year-old. If money is the root of all evil, why does the church ask for it? Same reason you do, Jassy, when you go to work. Because you need to feed yourself. You need to run your business or whatever. Why is this such a big deal? Well, are you from America? Shows how desperate the Dems are getting, reaching for anything. Yep. Now, today at noon, that's not scripture. Yeah, true, Judy, but you have to read the scripture. You know, obviously the guy probably did in Texas. Tax evasion is usually the last effort. I feel Mueller is somehow involved in the New York Times hit piece. Well, of course. Senator Schumer is on the floor now, and awful these people have no shame. God will give Judge Kavanaugh justice. You watched, as it said, the love of money is the root of all evil. And Patrick, it's more than just, you know, when they say the love of money, people go, oh, well, that means I can't be rich, or oh, I can't earn money, or oh, I can't ask for donations. No, what it says is that when you idolize money, when this money becomes more important than your God, then that's the root of all evil. It's the lust for money, not the money. Exactly. It's my church. I love to support her. No, it means being a Democrat. A demon rat. Blasey Ford's parents go way back to the Clinton era. Saw several pictures of her mother with Bill Clinton. Interesting and sickening. You know, Monique, what is interesting is I heard that they are Republicans, so I don't know. It's greed, not just love of money. Exactly. Yeah, it's when money becomes your idol and becomes all important, and you replace God with your money. Get out and vote. No kidding, Mel. Now, if that's really, Barbara, I don't know if you're talking about Ford. I don't know if that person in the pictures was really Ford that we were seeing all along. Well, if you don't vote, then you don't have a right to complain, I guess, Texas Versace or whatever your name is. Her in-laws are Republican. Yes, they definitely are, Barbara. When money is bigger than God in your life. Hey, Monica, good to see you. Today at noon, supposedly, Jeff Sessions is going to be going before Congress. Yeah, YouTube wouldn't lie to you. Of course not. He's going to be going before Congress. He has been subpoenaed to talk about, here's what they're asking for. All documents and communications between McCabe, senior officials, and the president. The Woods file related to the application for and subsequent renewals of FISA and applications for Carter Page. All documents and communications shared with the Gang of Eight in May 2018 related to the investigation into Russia interference with the 2016 election. Now, I don't know, why can't they just pick another candidate? Laura, why should they? Laura, why should they pick another candidate? If you were up there now and people had made false allegations against you, and I said, hey, why do we want Lauren? Why don't we just pick another candidate? Why? Oh, because there were allegations against Lauren. Okay, well, were they ever proven? No, but, you know, let's just pick another candidate, because you know what? Lauren will get over it, right? Being the Supreme Court justice isn't like one of the biggest honors in your life, so Lauren will get over it. Yeah, I don't think so, Lauren. My neighbor's cousin just got arrested for stealing 30 million for the government. Whoa, Wayne. They demanded an FBI investigation. Now it's still not enough. Of course not. What the crap? We don't need another candidate. Exactly. The Democrats will destroy anyone that Trump picks. That's right, Jillian. They certainly will. Now, Sessions is also, well, so angry, just ask a question. Lauren, I get angry because I get questions like this that are just ridiculous. I mean, before you ask some question like that, put yourself in somebody's shoes just for 5 seconds to feel what you would feel and what they might be feeling. I mean, this is not like, you know, oh, well, gosh, she wanted to cut the lawns down there on Park Avenue, and so let's just pick somebody else. You know, I would be upset if I were the lawnmower guy who wanted to be in Park Avenue and somebody cheated me out of a job. But this is huge. That man's life's been torn apart. Absolutely. Torn apart. And I am totally upset about it, and I don't understand why people can't show a little bit of empathy for a person. I gave empathy to Dr. Ford, and I still give her empathy in the fact that she may have been sexually assaulted at some point in her life, or believes she has, or whatever the case may be. I give her empathy. But I am not going to sit there and say, you know, with another man's, you know, destroyed life, and not only his life, but his family's life. I mean, my God. Gregorio, yeah, I you know, at this point, there's no reason to believe she's not lying now. But again, she may have been sexually assaulted at some point in her life. I don't know. And I'm not going to say that she hasn't. I don't know her. I don't give Ford empathy. 100% she's lying. I no longer give Ford the benefit of the doubt. Paid operative. Could be Barbara. But she also could be a woman who was sexually assaulted. Any woman today, in the scope and elsewhere, they could have been sexually assaulted. We don't know what goes on in people's lives. I believe she got paid $1 million for this. Well, Robert, she did. I mean, all you have to do is go look at her GoFundMe account. Now, the good thing is I saw that the Kavanaughs have raised people to GoFundMe like $500,000 for him. I dare say that he will use that money. I have a feeling, hey Teresa, that when it comes down to it, if he gets confirmed, he's going to donate that money or not touch it. 3 GoFundMe accounts. If so, in my thought, it might be when she was much younger by relative. It could be, Barbara. Absolutely. And again, there are men and women who have been sexually assaulted. I'm not going to go and judge them for that. What I know is that there's no evidence to support the fact that she says that she was sexually assaulted in an attempt by Brett Kavanaugh. Any news on the money laundering in the GoFundMe? No, I haven't heard anything, Alan. So anyway, look for Jeff Sessions. You know, what gets me, and this is delegitimize, well, for women who are real victims, who could have felt good about Me Too, and feeling like that they had, people's support, they have made a mockery out of that. They've made a mockery out of it. Well, she shouldn't be made to suffer, maybe, legal penalties. That's what I believe. If they find that she lied under perjury, yeah, but it's not going to happen. At this point, I just feel sorry for her for being willing to be used by the Dems to hurt this man. I don't feel sorry for her for being willing to be used by the Democrats. I think that she is an adult enough, mentally stable enough that she made that decision for herself. Wow. The people that are coming in, some hateful stuff. I know what you're saying. There is not a sympathetic heart in Dem's body. I was talking to one the other day, and they said, "Oh well, that could happen when you're in public life." Wow, I know. She deserves whatever is coming to her. Yeah, rude people. I know. Democrats shot themselves in the foot. Well, they do this with no just sense of like caring at all what it does to people. What I was going to say back in Sessions, are you sure about that? Well, Tom, I have to give her the benefit of that on that. I have not diagnosed her, so I'm not going to say whether she's mentally stable or not. Unlike the Democrats, as a psychotherapist, I don't diagnose and render a diagnosis without actually evaluating the person myself. I know they've done that to the president and everyone else, but I don't do that. So, I think it's interesting. You can, Judy. This will make people vote red in November. Yep, Gregoria. They didn't force her to testify, did they? Nope, they sure didn't. So with all this Gang of Eight, do you guys know who the Gang of Eight were that was dealing with this election stuff? Yep, we have ethics. Yep, we do. Chezzy. According to the news, she's not licensed. Yet, Tom, she doesn't have to be licensed in order to call herself a doctor. Sessions at noon today, Carmen. Yeah, so does anybody remember who the Gang of Eight was when you're dealing with interference in the election? If you don't, I'll tell you. Susan Ford is a conservative. I don't know. She's not a conservative. Her parents may be. Marco Rubio was one. That was another Gang of Eight, Tammy. Yes, where are they now? McCain was one. It was McConnell, Boehner, Burr, and Nunez were the Republicans. Nope, Flake wasn't. You're thinking about the Gang of Eight before, about whatever they were doing before, like illegal immigration. This is about election, looking into the election being interfered with by the Russians. That's what this Gang of Eight was. Now, for the Democrats, it was Reid, Pelosi, Feinstein, and Schiff. So all of this and what they were doing and when they knew and didn't know and all that other stuff is going to be looked at, supposedly, when Sessions brings all of that stuff. Do I like Schiff? No. Why would I like Schiff? As a psychotherapist, you could have been an expert witness for a defense. Well, I could have been if I had, been able to. I could tell them my opinion, of course, but I could tell them. Sitting there listening to her, there were a lot of things I could have said about it. Yeah, and hopefully Sessions will show up and he'll bring everything he's supposed to. You mean Schiff is a real piece of work? Are you talking about Schiff? Yes, the election gang of 8. Yep. Yeah, Schiff. He is a piece of work. I'm so glad Kamala Harris protected Kavanaugh. Yeah. Chloe, are you drinking or something this morning? Because I think you're saying things maybe just to get noticed. So I'm going to let you go back and wake up a little bit, because that's about the third crazy thing she said. Now also, Rosenstein is scheduled to have the meeting that was put off. That happened a long time ago, Tom, right after it all happened. And I guess after the president was president, as far as I know. But the Rosenstein is supposed to meet with President Trump on October 11. But Sarah Sanders keeps saying, we'll let you know. Rosenstein should be fired after the election. Oh, absolutely, Charlie Brown. Chloe, yeah, Chloe had just one beer. Right, Chloe? So, according to Sarah Sanders, the meeting remains in limbo. Collins just said FBI probe appears to be a very thorough investigation. You mean, Judy, the 7th one, or are we talking about 1 through 6 or 1 through 7? Because they were all thorough investigations. That's what they do. Robin wants to be noticed. So we'll see what Jeff brings. I'm surprised Jeff would bring anything in regards to Russia. Because remember, Jeff's not allowed to even say the word Russia. It's nice to see a smart woman out there. Thank you, Charlie Brown. Just got done watching Schumer. He's trying to throw it back on us. Of course. Of course. And you got to go out and look for the video of Chuck Schumer back in 2017 when it was his former aide. They thought his former aide was making sexual harassment allegations against him. Oh my gosh. He comes out. He was absolutely just so upset. These are false allegations against me, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. There's no truth to this whatsoever. We're going to do everything to get it. Oh my gosh. If he had even been half that way when all of this came out, they are evil. They are evil, Grace. They are. When it came out about Kavanaugh, it would have been great. Didn't you say Schumer has new allegations? No. Renee, I misspoke on that one, and I tried to clear it up on that when I posted it on my on Twitter. They're not new allegations. They're 2017. As it turned out, according to the aide that was supposedly saying that against him, the aide said, no, that wasn't my signature. It was forged. So they were having things like that happen, and they were incensed by the fact that was happening. But it was okay when it was against Kavanaugh with zero evidence. Make no mistake, President Trump knows where some bodies are buried. And make no mistake, Judy, that President Trump felt confident enough the other night at the rally to come out and say about Ford, she didn't remember this, she didn't remember that. And now they're saying, well, you made fun of her and blah, blah, blah. No, really, he just repeated what Rachel Mitchell said. You may not like the way he repeated it, the way he talked, but that's the way he said it. Yep, your headache is easing up. Great. Yes, Avenatti claims his new witness saw punch spiked. Yeah, I know. And nobody talked to her, Jerry, because... Anyway, blah. So if you were there in the Senate as an expert, you would have cried as well, knowing your good heart. Thank you, Gisette. Yes, Susan Collins says that it appears to be a very thorough investigation. That's a good sign to get her vote. Yeah, and also, Dawn, it's a good sign because she probably looked at the polls and went, oh, crap. I'm waiting for the woman to come out and accuse Booker. The woman does not have to come out and accuse Booker. Booker already admitted to it. What was the deal about the president and that female reporter? I don't know. Are you talking about April Ryan, who was asking Sarah questions? Or what it was, I don't know if this was the same, but... Oh, it was a joke. He said you never do. I don't know what it was. Booker admitted his assault. That's right. You don't... Oh, not April. Okay. Booker and Keith Ellison need investigating. Booker does not need an investigation. Let me just clarify. Booker does not need an investigation. He admitted to it in a 1992 column. Once you admit something, there's no need to investigate. You've already said you did it. What are you going to investigate? You did it. You said you did it. It's done. It's over. No, he doesn't need charges, Tom. He just needs to step down. I hope the investigation unveils more corrupt Dems. If we do an investigation, you know, if the Republicans don't stop what they're doing. A white female reporter started asking about Kavanaugh in the New Deal erasing NAFTA. I didn't see that. Yet women want to be equal until they are. Then they pull the girl card. Barbara said, I admit that I did something somewhere sometime. Thank you for coming forward and saying that, Wayne. Yes, she said I wasn't thinking, and he said, you never do. She acted offended. Did you see Crowder's recent show on Rape Culture? No. Let the Dems keep doing what they're doing. They shut themselves down. Oh, I see. You can destroy a man's life with lies, but don't hurt her little feelings with jokes. Yep. Susan, thank you for another great scope. Everyone have a great day. Chicago Pops, it's good seeing you again. We've gone past the hour. Does anybody want me to read Psalm 143 before we go? I'd be willing to stay on and read Psalm 143. Hey, Bob. Okay, let me read it, and I'm going to put in Judge Kavanaugh's name in replace of the word me. As I said before, yeah, Chrissy, you can get the replay and come back tomorrow. As I said before, we have to continue to pray. Don't think this is over until they say he's confirmed. It isn't over, all right? So here we go. Hear Judge Kavanaugh's prayer, O Lord. Give ear to his supplications. In your faithfulness answer him, and in your righteousness. Do not enter into judgment with your servant, for in your sight no one living is righteous. For the enemy has persecuted his soul. He has crushed his life to the ground. He has made him dwell in darkness like those who have long been dead. Therefore his spirit is overwhelmed within him. His heart within him is distressed. He remembers the day of old. He meditates on all your works. He muses on the work of your hands, and he spreads out his hands to you. His soul longs for you like a thirsty land. Answer him speedily, O Lord. His spirit fails. Do not hide your face from him, lest he be like those who go down into the pit. Cause him to hear your loving kindness in the morning, for in you does he trust. Cause him to know the way in which he should walk, for he lifts up his soul to you. Deliver him, O Lord, from his enemies. In him he takes shelter. Teach him to do your will, for you are his God. Your spirit is good. Lead him in the land of uprightness. Revive him, O Lord, for your name's sake. For your righteousness' sake, bring his soul out of trouble. In your mercy, cut off his enemies, and destroy all those who afflict his soul. For he is your servant. Woo! Chills on that one. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging in there. Amen and amen. Yes, please keep praying. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Everybody, thanks so much for being here. Yes, we want his confirmation to go through. Whatever God's will is for Brett Kavanaugh, that's what thank you, Robert. That's what I'm praying for, and I hope that you're praying for the same. God's will be done. That's what's important. We love you, Susan. Thank you. Thank you, Mello. I love you guys, all of you, and I hope you know that. Many blessings. You're welcome, Carmen. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. God